Have you ever felt that Newcastle United is on the brink of a bold move, one that could completely change the club's destiny? Well, something much bigger than a simple signing or speculation is gaining momentum behind the scenes. There's a silent movement being orchestrated by someone who knows the club's soul like few others. And no, this isn't just any rumor. It's a direct, strategic, and ambitious recommendation from a former player who wore our shirt with pride and heart. While most clubs are still trying to understand the transfer market, Newcastle is already being tipped as a potential summer window protagonist. And the reason might surprise you. This is not just about filling gaps or signing for the sake of signing. The aim now is to build a squad worthy of both the Premier League and the Champions League simultaneously. But is the club really ready for this? And more importantly, are the names suggested really what Newcastle needs to take the next step in European football? Before I tell you who the players recommended for Newcastle are, take this moment to subscribe to the channel. By doing so, you help us grow and keep bringing exclusive news and detailed updates about our beloved team. Just click the button and that's it. You won't miss any hot news about Newcastle United. And believe me, what's coming next will surprise you. The truth is, Newcastle's squad depth has been a concern. The departure of key players like Miguel Almiron and Yankuba Mina on the wings, plus the recent transfer of Elliot Anderson, exposed clear weaknesses in midfield and attack. Joe Willock hasn't regained his best form yet, Lewis Miley has potential but is still very young, and Sean Longstaff might be leaving the club. It's in this context that a familiar figure at St. James Park steps in, Yohan Cabaye. The Frenchman not only highlighted these concerns but made two bold and very specific recommendations to strengthen the squad. Yes, that's right. In an interview with Team Talk, Yohan Cabaye openly advocated for Newcastle United to sign two heavyweights from the Premier League, and these are not gambles or promises. We're talking about Bryan Mbeumo from Brentford and none other than Kevin De Bruyne from Manchester City. According to Cabaye, the Cameroonian Mbeumo would solve two problems at once: provide depth on the right wing and also serve as rotation for Alexander Isak. De Bruyne, even at 33, is considered by Cabaye to be in a different league, capable of instantly raising Newcastle's midfield quality. Of course, De Bruyne's arrival would depend on a salary cut, something natural for a player of his caliber seeking a new challenge. But Cabaye believes Newcastle's project could be enticing enough to attract even the biggest names in European football. Furthermore, Mbeumo is on the rise and, with Brentford facing uncertainties, his signing for around £60 million seems more possible than ever. This information comes directly from Team Talk, reinforcing the credibility of what's being discussed. If you've made it this far and haven't subscribed yet, now's the time. That way you'll make sure you don't miss the upcoming updates on these potential signings and other behind-the-scenes news that doesn't make the mainstream media. More than that, you help us keep this Newcastle fan community stronger than ever. Go on, click that subscribe button. But it doesn't stop there. Cabaye also stressed that besides signing new players, it's essential to keep the club's existing stars. He was categorical in saying Alexander Isak, Bruno Guimaraes and Sandro Tonali are untouchable pieces. In his view, losing any of these players would be a huge step back for Newcastle's plans. Isak scores lots of goals, Bruno is a constant offensive threat, and Tonali has a fundamental presence in midfield, he said. Keeping this trio would, in his opinion, be a clear sign of ambition for the rest of the Premier League. Additionally, Cabaye praised Eddie Howe's work, highlighting his ability to raise the team's level and take Newcastle to the next stage. However, he also warned, without a robust squad, it will be impossible to compete in the Premier League and Champions League with the same intensity. This shows the responsibility the board will have this transfer window, and the importance of making the right decisions going forward. Therefore, if the club really wants to stay among the elite and turn its project into reality, it's clear the path involves both retaining the current talents and making surgical signings like Mbeumo and perhaps even De Bruyne. So, Toon fans, what do you think about these potential moves? Is Cabaye right in his bets? What would you do if you were part of Newcastle's board at this decisive moment? Comment below with your opinion, share this video with other fans, and once again, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next episodes of this saga that promises to shake up European football's summer. Because if there's one thing we can guarantee, this transfer market is far from over at St. James Park.